Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, September 4th, and this is the AgYield War Room. I'm Dan Dempsey, and I'll be moderating today's session. As always, if you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to drop us a line in the chat area, and we'll be sure to get to it during the show. Quickly here, overnight markets had December corn down a half, 408 and 3/4. November soybeans were down 4 1/4, 1007 and 3/4. And December Chicago wheat was up a half at 567 1/4. Yesterday afternoon, USDA came out with crop conditions. Corn, 65% good to excellent. That was unchanged on the week and above the 5-year average of 57%. Soybeans, however, dropped 2 percentage points in the good to excellent category down to 65%. And that's against a 58% 5-year average. Spring wheat harvest, 70% harvested. That was a sharp increase from last week, up from 51%, and 70% is the average. So we're right on pace in the spring wheat complex. Good morning, guys. Dustin, I guess interesting to see with last week's heat, kind of changing weather pattern there. They did ding beans a little bit there in the good to excellent category. Corn continues to hang strong. I know we don't put a whole lot of weight in the crop conditions, but at the same time, for trends, it appears that that's their opinion. So maybe a couple of thoughts here as we start the morning, and we'll kick it around the room.
Yeah, so not all that's unsurprising, and markets were unchanged overnight as a result. So, we've heard that anecdotally, beans are certainly being impacted a bit from this dry weather. It's going to continue to be dry, what it looks like. I think we've got a 2-week European forecast that's calling for about 28% of normal rainfall on a weighted average basis for the next 14 days. So it's going to finish off dry. It's going to turn pretty quick. But market doesn't seem to be carrying too much right now. And we have had a pretty good move here, above $4 corn, above $10 beans. We still are coming into what looks to be a fairly abundant harvest either way. And we did pick up more bean acres. We have to remember that. And I find it interesting, though, when you talk about ratings, it's certainly not a scientific number, right? Like we can guess the trend from them, but I wouldn't try to fine tune a yield estimate out of it. Like, for example, Iowa has been rated 77% good to excellent for corn for the last 6 weeks, hasn't changed. And I would say anecdotally, we've heard otherwise that, things kind of more disease has showed up over the last couple of weeks, especially in Iowa. But then again, we're not out there scouting every acre in Iowa either. So be an interesting finish. I think the biggest thing for us has been positioning. So market positioning has been, there's probably been a long bushel in the bin and on DP that was kind of carried into that late August timeframe. And now that position's gone, we've been finding some strength. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen, that continue for 4 or 5 days after first notice day. So this week, basically, we'll just have to continue to watch it. I would say if we get into, anywhere in that 420 to 430 range, you're going to find a lot more willing sellers for guys that want to have more sold going into harvest for harvest delivered bushels, because that gets you that, $4 flat price in many areas, for harvest delivered bushels. So I would expect that to be an area of pressure for the market.
Very good. Justin, any thoughts to add there?
Yeah, I would just make the comment that, beans flat price has rallied 70 cents from the low going into harvest, corn 25. And if you look at, if you add in the carry, like November, beans to July of 25, that spread got past full storage all the way out to July. So if you look at, the flat price rally and the wide spreads, the July contract got to 1077 yesterday. It's $1.20 higher than we were 10 days ago in the nearby contract. More than that, $1.50 higher actually if you look at the September contract. So, approaching $11 beans, but looks like a record crop, kind of fine tuning what those numbers are. But keep in mind that is a big, those are some big numbers. If you're able to store it, if you do have some opportunity, beans have a great carries for storing. And you start looking at close to $11 flat price out there. I think that's a pretty good price for what we know today for the world carry out situation. And what looks like another, Now South America's been dry. We still have to go into that whole crop, and there could always be problems. But also just kind of putting that perspective of if you do have big crops and looking for something, those are some pretty good prices when you were close to talking about $9 beans a couple weeks ago to almost $11 beans for summer. That's a big difference. So
yeah, no doubt. Justin, your best guess, Northern Illinois, how long until we get rolling there? I know Central Illinois guys are starting to get going.
Yeah, I mean, beans are turning pretty good. They seem to be turning earlier than normal, in a lot of places. There's still some that are really, really green. Certainly many are starting to turn. So with a kind of a drier forecast the next couple of weeks, I would think within a couple of weeks for sure. I know guys are trying to avoid going this week, trying to be disciplined, but I'd say certainly by next week, we start rolling pretty decent on some beans.
Good. Well, it'd be nice to get in there, get some anecdotal yield data, we can start piecing together. We're getting bits and pieces here and there, but once get everybody rocking and rolling, it'll be nice.
Yeah, it's obviously some big numbers written down. I think if you look at Pro Farmer at 55 or whatever we talked about yesterday, I think you'd have to really prove that kind of a number. Pod counts are obviously record high. Now it's going to be, what's the bean size? We ended pretty dry. Was there enough moisture to carry it all the way through? I personally don't think you get the over the top big yields unless you rain all the way through and continue to have, kind of max moisture. So we'll see. We've obviously starting to get into some early stuff in the central, southern part of Illinois. So not enough evidence to know, really good or bad yet. So far, haven't heard anything overwhelming either way. So yeah, 100%. It's going to be, crop conditions are what they are. It's what's the actual yield numbers? Are they going to back what the USDA has, what the market's kind of trading? We've had a rally, so there's some doubt, right? There's a little bit of doubt in here, a little bit of premium kind of being built into these markets until we, find out, what kind of yields are we actually talking about here?
Very good. Rylan, yesterday, interesting to see cattle, on a sharply lower stock market, really hang in there and put in a good performance. That was nice to see. And huge trading ranges in the hogs. So what's your thoughts here this morning?
Yeah, it seems like you had just kind of two-sided action coming in yesterday. Just overall, I think most people were looking for maybe a slight pop and cutout. It does happen in both places post Labor Day. End users have to restock. They have to get more orders on the books, just replenish essentially. So we typically see that a lot of the time. So it just seemed like hogs tried to kind of fall early, but overall open interest was up a little bit. So hard to tell exactly if those are new longs or new shorts coming in here. We do know that the managed money wants to be long hogs right now, just going into this time of year. So we'll see if that looks to last, over the next few weeks. Sometimes you get a little bit of resurgence in demand that the market just may not see coming. So overall, it seems like the trend is still pretty positive here. So, I mean, you're reaching these levels where obviously we didn't take out yesterday's, the previous session's highs in October, but it does seem to be that a lot of the strength is moving forward. We weren't seeing a big roll in both places from October to December. Maybe it's just a little bit of pre-roll kind of action ahead of Goldman, but it does kind of seem that the long interest is likely to move out from October into those months. So we'll see if that continues. Otherwise, on the cattle side, there's been no cash trade yet. I think the expectation, especially with what happened in the beef, is that packer margin is going to be pretty firm and they could still pay up a little bit. And then on the hog side of things, cash was up as well. We were up about $2.26. So pretty good news just from the fundamental side altogether. So it looks like we were just able to kind of hold together yesterday. We'll see if there's some follow through today.
Very good. Appreciate that update. And we certainly appreciate everybody that tunes in on a daily basis. If you wouldn't mind, throw us a like or subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything to do so. Certainly helps us in the world of YouTube algorithms. So like I said, we appreciate everybody that supported the show. We have a lot of fun with it. So if you would, please throw us a like or subscribe. Every day that the markets are open, we're streaming live on X, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live, 8:15 Central Time. Appreciate the thoughts and comments here this morning, guys. It was a good conversation. Hope everybody has a great day, and we look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.
The War Room is proudly presented by AgYield. For over 50 years, the AgYield team has provided grain marketing and risk management solutions for growers across the country. Our veteran consultants harness cutting-edge technologies to pinpoint risk, optimize market performance, and protect your farm's profitability. Discover a new approach to farm revenue management at agyield.com.
Hey guys, Jack here. Be sure to support the show by hitting the like button, leaving us a comment, and subscribing to the channel for all the latest updates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.